Hello everybody, my name is Inge and I'm so happy to be here with you again on Story Alive. I've seen a few of you at the church and during worship, and that's been so wonderful. It's almost a year since we have started Story Alive online. Can you believe that? I am sure that so many of you have grown up so much and I can't wait to see you. So hopefully I'll soon be bumping into you at church. So today is our story symbol. It's a lock that is open. Can you see that? Wonder what that's going to tell us about our story today. Well, let's get ready to be together in God's big story. The Lord be with you and also with you. Today's story is called Peter is Rescued. I'm going to read you the story from the Bible. It comes out of the New Testament in the book of Acts. King Herod had a lot of power, and he began to use that power to harm Jesus' followers. He arrested Peter and put him into prison, even though Peter didn't do anything wrong. King Herod was angry that Peter loved and praised Jesus. He was angry that Peter told people everywhere the good news about Jesus. So he ordered his soldiers to lock Peter up in chains, place him in prison, and to guard him very carefully. This will put an end to Peter's preaching. Herod snarled to himself. Now we will see what happens to all the talk about Jesus and about the wonderful things Peter says Jesus can do. Herod's soldiers were very careful to obey their angry king. They chained Peter up with 2 chains and placed him in a cell with 2 guards. 2 more guards stood at the entrance to make sure he did not escape. They watched him every moment and even made him sleep between the 2 guards in his cell. Poor Peter. It wasn't hard for him to see that he was stuck. I wonder how Peter felt when he was locked in his prison cell. Wonder if he might have been really lonely and scared. I wonder, do you know a Bible verse that might help Peter feel better? Well, we have a special guest, Malcom, and he is going to share with us a Bible verse that he thinks will make Peter feel better. Let's have a listen.
Psalm 62, verse 1 to 2. It is surely true that I find my rest in God. He is the God who saves me. It is surely true that He is my rock. He is the God who saves me. He is like a fort to me. I will always be secure.
Wasn't that a lovely psalm? Thank you, Malcom. It was so great to see your smiling face. Well, Peter's friends got together in a house near the prison to pray for Peter. Peter's friends believed that Jesus was with Peter and Jesus could do wonderful things that no person had power to do. So they prayed hard, day and night. Wonder what you think they prayed for while Peter was in prison. I wonder if they prayed to make him feel less afraid. I wonder if they prayed for him to make sure he has good food to eat and to feel warm. They very likely would have prayed for him to be freed from prison. Well, one night while Peter was asleep between the 2 guards, all chained up in his cell, an amazing thing happened in the dark and quiet prison. Out of nowhere, an angel appeared in Peter's cell. The angel poked Peter in his side and whispered to his ear, "Quick, get up." The soldiers who were next to Peter didn't move a muscle, and the soldiers at the door continued to snore. Before Peter could rub his eyes and discover what was happening, the chains that were holding him fell off with a thunk. The soldiers who were guarding Peter didn't move a muscle, and the soldiers at the door continued to snore. Then the angel said to Peter, "Put on your clothes and sandals. Then put on your coat and follow me. Hurry." Peter thought he was dreaming. Without saying a word, he obeyed the angel. The soldiers who were guarding Peter didn't move a muscle, and the soldiers at the door continued to snore. I wonder why the soldiers didn't wake up. Wonder if Jesus had something to do with that. Peter followed the angel and walked past the sleepy soldiers who guarded him, right past the snoring soldiers at the door, and right out of the prison gate, which opened all by itself. I wonder how quiet Peter had to be as he tiptoed past the soldiers, out of the jail and out of the city. I wonder if it was hard to walk without making any noise. Peter thought he must be having a wonderful dream, a dream where he escaped from jail. Then he rubbed his eyes and looked around him. The angel was gone, but so were the guards and the prison bars and the heavy gates. Then Peter knew that he wasn't dreaming. It was real. Jesus had sent an angel to rescue Peter and to keep him safe. Peter raced as fast as he could to Mary's house, where his friends were still praying. Wouldn't his friends be happy to see him? He could hardly wait to tell everyone about his amazing escape from prison. Softly, he knocked on Mary's door. "It's me, Peter. I escaped from jail. Let me in," he said. Mary's servant, Rhoda, was so excited to hear Peter's voice, she forgot to open the door and let him in. Instead, she ran back to the others with the good news. Peter was free, and he was right outside the door. "No way! How can this be? Peter's in prison," said the others, as they shook their heads and sadly said, "You must be dreaming." But Rhoda wouldn't give up, and they could hear someone knocking. So they went to the door themselves. There they saw Peter. They were so surprised. Peter motioned for everyone to be quiet. Then he told them how God had answered their prayers by sending an angel from Jesus to help him escape, walking him past the guards and out of the big prison gates. Then Peter left Mary's house to find a safer place to hide from angry King Herod. Meanwhile, back at the prison, when the sleepy guards and snoring soldiers finally woke up and saw Peter was gone, they wanted to find a safe place to hide to. They knew that King Herod, when he discovered the wonderful way that God had answered the prayers of Peter's friends, King Herod would be angry indeed. Isn't that an amazing story of prayer? So we have been learning a lot about prayer. Your mums and your dads and grandparents at church are learning about the Lord's Prayer. And so today our story is about prayer too. So I thought maybe we could make a prayer chain, because Peter was in prison with chains. I thought we should use the colors of our new vision. I wonder if anybody knows what our new vision statement is. Growing life together with God. And the way that we grow life together with God is through some of our values. So I've put our values on here so that we can remember them and pray them during the week. So one is compassion. And this is how you make your prayer chain. Compassion. Courageous. Peter had to be really courageous. When he was in the prison cell. And I'm sure that you have to be courageous in a lot of things that you try when you try them for the first time. We are accepting. So that means that when other people do things a little bit different to the way that we do them, that we accept that. We are welcoming. We treat people with love, and we say hello to them, and we welcome them into our lives. Serving. Lots of you serve in great ways. Malcom served us today by reading a Bible story, and I saw that Gretel and Charles and Willa and Rennie served the other day when they were in church, giving us a great reading. Right? And we can be missional. It means that we can help people when they don't have enough food or enough clothes, and we can make sure that we can help with that. And we can be generous. It means that we share what we have with others so that they can also have. This is our prayer chain that you can make for your week, and this is the prayer chain that I have made for my week. Isn't that wonderful? All right, boys and girls, let's have a prayer together. Dear Jesus, holy and wonderful God, thank you for teaching us about prayer. Help us to pray every day so that we can get to know you more and love you more. Amen. It's lovely being with you again today. You have a great week, and we see you again next time. Bye for now.